Welcome back to the final episode of my week-long adventure along the Alaska Range, exploring and photographing the amazing creatures I find along the way. This section of the journey takes us through the McLaren River Valley in the shadow of the McLaren Glacier and Mount Hayes, with a peak measuring at 13,842 feet. And this area is just breathtaking. It still holds a lot of snow and constantly changing weather. From sun to rain, and even to snow. And this makes me so happy. So let's talk about it. Thing is, I could sit out here on the side of these areas like this and just enjoy just glass and stuff. And I didn't bring a camera. I literally got bear protection, binoculars, camera to film myself, and that's it. I'm just sitting out here really looking for the bears and the caribou. I just want to see some more. But as I glass, I start seeing a lot of stuff I didn't even know was out here sometimes. Because I really didn't realize this was a beaver dammed pond, which is just so cool to see. My camera almost went. I've got it sitting here lodged up against a pole on top of its monopod thing. Fix it again because it's not going to be real good right there. But yeah, so it doesn't go sliding down this mountain because it's another, let's see, it's another 50, 60 yards to the bottom of this thing. But I was hoping this would be a really good spot with all this water for something to be in here besides the beaver I can see way down there and the buffleheads. And I don't know what the other ducks were near them was. Okay. Oh, it's been fun. I love that. My butt's getting a little cold here because I am sitting in snow. But cool stuff. And this is what, for me, wildlife photography is. A lot of it is not actually taking the pictures. It's not getting the video. It's about being out here and experiencing all this stuff. And just doing this, sitting in a, pile of snow on the side of a mountain in the interior of Alaska. And just loving every minute of it. It's scouting, learning behavior. I think that's the most important part of photography, wildlife photography for me, is learning behavior of the animals and locations and times of year. Like I had that video about timing with the oyster catcher. Finding that bird, I can find them every year in certain spots because I know their behavior and their timing of what they do. And that was crazy. A little bird just landed on this right in front of me and then flittered off. I think he didn't realize it was here. That's really weird. But it's that timing, the behavior, learning locations, which means you have to visit a lot of locations. So you got to come to the same spot, several times a year to see what's in that area, what kind of birds and what kind of things they're doing. Learn their, bug in my face. Learn their behavior, read up on their mating behavior when they have their babies, when they go into courtship, what do they do after they have their babies, all that kind of stuff. Kind of like the moose I've got to learn, when do they rut? When do the moose start sparring? When do they start mating? What do they do after the rut season's over? And then what do they do in the winter? What do they do in the spring, the summer? How do they behave? How do they act? What do they do? Yeah, learning that behavior. And once you know that behavior of, like say the moose example, when you know all those things, at that time of year, I know if it's October, early October, I probably need to be looking for the rut. We should be looking for that head butting. And August, September, October, that's when they're starting to get into that. And then, late September, early October is the heavy rut around Anchorage Bowl. And then after they get done with the rut, when they're not chasing the girls anymore, then how do they behave? What are the bulls doing? And during the rut, I know, hey, if not seeing a bull, but if I see a good cow that doesn't have a calf, if I just stick with her, I'm probably going to see a bull after a while because that's what they're looking for. They're smelling, looking for that cow. A lot of times I don't have my camera. There's days where I don't have the camera when I'm out doing wildlife photography because I'm scouting or nothing else. I'm just enjoying myself. So get my butt out of this cold snow, get back to the vehicle, and go look somewhere else for some stuff. This has been enjoyable. Hopefully it's been helpful for you. Well, it's funny, I probably won't use 3/4 of what I've talked about here because it's just rambling. Got 2 caribou out here. They're a good distance from me, but it's one of the things I was really hoping to see out here was caribou. I wanted to see some bear and some caribou. Makes my heart just full to see that. Just majestic animals. I just love caribou. Yep, still just watching me from way out there. Crazy. It's amazing how good their sense of smell and sight is, because I'm in the worst possible spot. I'm upwind of these guys. They can just smell me. I'll just put his nose in the air every once in a while and freeze and then move on. She's so cute. This is why I come up here. I love seeing that. It's just amazing. I didn't get great footage and sure didn't get good pictures. But just to see them out here like they're still just down there, it's just incredible. They're watching me. They can hear me. The whole time as soon as I broke this little ridge to see them, they got spooked and started moving. And they're way out there. They're probably a couple hundred yards out there. They're still just moseying around. They act like they're coming back this way a little bit, but I don't think they're going to. But just incredible. And I want to give a big thanks out to DxO for sponsoring this video. They make a lot of software for us photographers, but the one I use is DxO Pure Raw 5. This piece of software is the cornerstone and the key to my editing process. Without it, it makes my work a lot harder. The problem I had was with Lightroom from the camera profiles were not correct. They looked flat and also noisy and not as sharp as they should be when I used the native software for Canon DP4 or Nikon's NIX software to get that. The way they looked in there, it looked right, and Lightroom looked bad. DxO Pure Raw takes and gets the camera profiles for all your lenses and your bodies and puts them in there. And it gets it like the manufacturer has what they want you to see. And it also denoises and sharpens, and you control that amount of denoise and sharpen. But that piece of software, like I said, is cornerstone and key to my imaging process. When you got a before image that's flat, noisy, dull, and then you bring it through DxO Pure Raw, and it becomes vibrant, less noisy, and a little bit sharper. Just awesome. Can't say much about that program. Without it, makes my life a pain in the butt. So back to the video. And to top off my day in one of these amazing beaver ponds was a pair of swans in some perfectly still water. And as most days out on the tundra, after capturing all the video and images that I cared to capture, I just kicked back and enjoyed my time with these animals on this amazing, beautiful beaver pond. So I had to get this just for scale. This is a wall of snow. Can't even punch through it. There's still snow up here, which is crazy. It is the 1st of June. There's a lot of snow up here. So cool though. And then this amazing vistas. Just incredible, incredible, incredible. And there it was, a glimpse of a red fox. And not much farther, another one farther out. And I was so excited. Both were too far to get good images of. But then it happened. The encounter that I've been dreaming of the whole trip. The main reason I'd come to this region was a red fox that had captured a ground squirrel that was in the process of having its morning lunch. This encounter was just incredible, and it was so fleeting and so fast, but I hopped out and got the images and the video that I could. This topped off my whole trip. This is the reason why I love Alaska and wildlife photography. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It has been a special week up here in the interior of Alaska. We've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff. No bears. That's what I was really hoping to see, but it's kind of harder to see bears right now at this time of year up in this area anyway, but I was really hoping to find one. But as always, guys, if you like the video, you've been seeing stuff you like, that type of stuff, please hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it means the world to me for the channel. And as always, next time I see you, get outside, go run that shutter.